content of this course. So hope you can see it in WhatsApp group. So Stan already shared in the group. Today we will start with the introduction, and then we'll go with the DevOps. So we are going to learn Ansible. So Ansible is part of configuration management tool. So it comes under DevOps tools. So we will learn about what is DevOps, and then what are the DevOps tools available, and then what is configuration management. So there are four types of configuration management tools available in the industry. So we will learn about the difference between those four tools, and then we will learn about what is Ansible and why we prefer Ansible instead of other configuration management tools. So we will learn about those concepts, and then we'll learn about what is AWS. AWS, is it's open source tool. It comes, it's Ansible core is the open source. We will learn about what is the difference between Ansible and Arcs, and also Ansible. So previously it's Ansible Tower. Now that had changed with the name of Automation Controller. So we will learn about this one as well. So any questions with the today's content topic? So probably I will give my introduction first. So I'm your trainer for Ansible. So my name is Saurabhya. So I have 17 plus years of experience in the industry. So currently I'm working for one of the company. So I'm managing the automation team. So I have experience with the scripting wise PowerShell, Python, shell scripting, Perl, and orchestration wise I have experience with the Scotch orchestration tools, and also VRA and VRO. So it's a VMware orchestration tool. And also I have experience with the configuration tools like SaltStack, Ansible. When it comes to other DevOps tools, I have worked on integration tools like Jenkins, GitHub, GitLab. I am widely worked on most of the DevOps tools. So I did CI/CD pipeline. So created portal using .NET platform and also PHP. So I have 10 years of experience in the training. So that's all about me. A quick introduction. So probably right. Okay. So we will start with the introduction to DevOps. Uh, all right. So what is DevOps? So if you ask me DevOps, so if, in the name itself you can find is a development plus operations. So we have development team. So basically they are work to develop softwares or maintain the software. They will use some technology tools to create a software, right? So there is a development team available in the industry. So there are operations team. So the operation is mainly say infrastructure operations. So whenever the development team needs some server, they supposed to deploy a machine based on the requirement. The requirement might be based on the resources. So resources is CPU, memory, and a disk. So based on the requirement, they will deploy a machine. It might be a virtual machine or physical machine. Based on the request, they will deploy and they will provision the servers, and they will they will add user accounts. Then they will provide the details to the requester, to the development team, basically. So once development team got the server access, they will make use of that server for their development work. So they might use different phases. So those phases are called SDLC. So software development life cycle. So it started with requirement gathering, system design, system implementation, system testing, and system deployment, and finally maintenance. So this step is a sequence of step. It is called waterfall model. So now, it comes to agile. You heard about agile model, right? AGILE.
Yeah, it's
So waterfall model is the old version of, old process of an old process in SDLC, software development life cycle. So now agile model is a new methodology in SDLC. So, do you know the difference between the existing waterfall model and agile model? Why agile is more popular now in recent times? Not now, I say in recent times. So, waterfall is a sequential model. So, as I shown here, the initial phase is requirement gathering. So once this is completed, this is for the entire project. This is not only subtask. It says the entire project they will do the requirement gathering, and once it's completed, then only they will do the system design for the entire project. It's not for task. It's not for subtask. So it's for the entire project. Do you know how the entire project is split into task and subtask and all? So is anyone worked on project management or any experience with that? Okay, I will tell you the high level things. So whenever you are getting a project, so project owner know what kind of project the team will get. So for example, you are from Wintel team. Mostly, if you are not following agile methodology, then you will get some project from the client, to the management. So the project is something who supposed to handle the project owner, or else project manager. So if you are following a agile model, so they have product owner, scrum master, and team members. But when it comes to the existing model, or else project manager, and then team lead, shift lead, team member. In the team members also we have L2, L3 segregations, L1, L2, L3 segregations, right? Right. So what I'm trying to tell is, so whenever there is a project, comes to the team, so project manager or project owner is the main person responsible for the entire project, right? So it will be given to the corresponding team lead, or else scrum master. So they are the one, split the project into task. So projects will be divided into tasks, and task will be divided into subtask. Okay. So if you are planning something, the subtask or else a task will be assigned to each team members. So which mean the entire project, it will be handled by different team members based on the, you know, technology, based on their experience. So it will be assigned. So they are the responsible for task or subtask. If any issues comes in, or any backlog or any issues, so they will update to the team lead or scrum master. Okay. So some cases, if some API is not working, some dependency with the some other team. So for example, you are Wintel team, but you are facing NFS issues or some file share issues. So it depends with the storage team, right? So there is some dependency with the other team in this case. So, but they are taking more time to give you a, for your, issues. So they are taking more time on giving the resolution. Then it is affecting your productivity, or it is affecting your, work, right? So it is this kind of blockage you can, mention in the daily stand-up call. And also, previously the entire project will be handled in, sequence manner. Now, under the agile methodology, so we have two things. One is two model. One is Kanban, and another one is Scrum. It's a method, Scrum methods or Kanban methods. So when Agile comes to into picture, so instead of taking the entire project, we can take the task itself. So you will get some task, and based on the task, you will allocate some time for that. So 2 weeks once it is Scrum, weekly call. I mean Scrum. Uh, weekly 2 weeks once we have Scrum, right? So within that you can complete the task. So we have some timeline, project timeline, task timeline. So everything is pre-planned one. So instead of getting the entire project, you will get some tasks. You can divide those tasks into subtasks. So you can plan accordingly. So it will be easy to manage and handle the projects. So that's why the agile is become, very popular now. So whenever there is a bug happen, so you will go to that task and rectify that bug, and you can release the new version of software. So previously, if anything goes wrong, the entire plan we have to start from the requirement gathering, and then planning everything. But now, if anything is happened intermittently, you can, just do that fix from the scratch. So not the entire code. So the first one is plan, and then code, and then compile, and then text. So and then once everything is fine, then release, and then monitor the entire, the platform. So any questions till now?
I think we are good.
Yeah. So previously in the waterfall model, there are some challenges there. Especially, the developers will ask for the infrastructure with the operations team. There are some wait time there, some pressure on the existing environment. So those kind of difficulties or challenges will be avoided in the DevOps things. So the uptime also is 99% uptime. So previously, if anything goes wrong, or if something is not working well, then we have to, have the maintenance mode, and then we have to, inform the client, who is the responsible for that server. You have to inform the server owner and the application owners. So now, in the DevOps, the uptime is pretty much good. So even some patches or something you are applying using the automation tool like Ansible, you no need to reboot the servers as well. So you can maintain those kind of, check in your code as well. So there are a lot of, each phase, right? So this are the, SDLC phases. So each phase we have a lot of tools available. So you can integrate all the tools together using the integration tools. So DevOps comes to picture to give the solution of the development and operations related work. So DevOps usually we will call as CI/CD pipeline. Why it is called pipeline? So if you see the picture, so it's a continuous process. So the plan, code, build, test, release, deploy, operate, and monitor. It's a continuous one. So whenever you are getting a requirement, you can do the same kind of things for the individual task. So it's not for the entire project. So for example, you are getting a request to install McAfee antivirus. So on the platforms, you can do that one with the same thing. So you already have the pre written playbook or pre-written code. You just need to execute that one. Just plan for the requirement and what are the machines you are supposed to install, and what kind of OS you are going to install, and do that code. If there is no playbook and there is no code available, then you can create the playbook and then build that playbook and then test that playbook in the dev environment. So if it is working fine, then it is you can release that code. So otherwise you can change the code and do the test again, and then you can release that code and deploy into the machines, and then monitor whether it is working fine or not. So this is how it will work. So mostly it's it's mainly used for collaboration and productivity into developers and operations team. Right. So each phase having a lot of tools. So I just highlighted few tools here, but again there are a lot of tools available in the market. It depends on the project. So some softwares is freeware and open source. So some project or some client is okay with the open sources, but some clients still wants with the paid version, so license version, because of bug fix or any security vulnerability. So they will go with the licensed one. So each phase having its softwares, right? So plan for the planning. We have Git. Subversion is the old one. So Jira. So yeah, under the Git we have GitLab, GitHub. So Bitbucket also there, right? So there are a lot of tools available in the planning. So mostly, it's a code repository. You can plan for your project. So we have readme.md file. So under that you will document the what the code related to. So how many of you read have seen that readme.md file on the GitHub? It's a documentation page, right? So you might have seen that page. So is anyone using GitLab or GitHub?
Uh,
So this tools is not only
y-
for planning; it's also for maintaining the code. Yeah, tell me please.
yeah, like in our environment, we are using a Bitbucket. We are using,
Bitbucket. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. So Bitbucket, GitLab, GitHub. So it's a different vendors. That's it. So the purpose of those tools are planning your project and store the documentation and the code. So if you are writing a playbook, so either you can save it on your local drive or else on remote drive. Instead of that, you can maintain at one central point. It's called repository. So those repository we are using GitLab, GitHub, Bitbucket. So any tools like this. It is clear.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So the next one is build. So build, the famous tool is Gradle, Maven, Apache Ant. So Maven, Gradle are build tool. And when it comes to test, we have Selenium, JUnit. It's a automated testing, testing tool. So instead of manual, we have automation testing tool in place. It's a DevOps tools. So I am talking about the entire life cycle, but you are not going to work on entire tools. So you might work on few tools from the list actually. So you just if you are Windows admin, you are going to use Ansible, then you can use GitLab or GitHub for storing your code and store your documentation, everything here. And then you can, if you want to do the testing, then you can use Selenium. So otherwise you can just use the Ansible itself, Ansible and GitLab. It's fine, GitLab or GitHub. So no need to combine everything together, but still we have options to integrate all the tools with the help of integration tools like Jenkins, Bamboo, Hudson. Okay. Alright. So especially in the DevOps tools, so development team, testing team, operations team. So all the teams will be in as one team. It's called DevOps teams. So they will responsible for, even build team also there. So they will responsible for this tool. So whenever you are completed your code, they will take care of that one. So in some company or some project, the number of team members is very small. So they are DevOps team, but if you ask them, they handle everything together. There is no testing team, there is no development team. So there is one or two people will handle all code together, all tools together. But mostly in MNC wise, I'm talking about. So there are a number of people will be there. They will handle their specific tools. So testing team members will take care of testing tools, and build team member will take care of build tools. Right.
Where is Terraform here?
Sorry, can you come again?
No, where does Terraform fit in this DevOps tools? Terraform.
Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, I will tell you. Okay.
Okay.
So on the okay left side, plan, code, build, test we completed, and the integration tools to integrate the the left side tools together with right side tool. On the right side, we have deployment tool, operate tool, and monitor tool. So in our deployment, we have Docker, Vagrant. These are the containerization, right? So and also we have Puppet, Chef, SaltStack, Ansible. So these four tools are configuration management tool. But here the Terraform is comes under deployment tool. I haven't added here, but it's a deployment tool. So the difference between deployment tool, Terraform, and also the configuration management tool is, so the deployment is a day zero to create your infrastructure as a code. So I will complete this one and then I will give the difference between Terraform and Ansible. Okay. So, so under the monitoring tool, we have ELK Stack, Nagios, Splunk. So those three tools are very popular now. So it's mainly to store the logs, analyze the logs, and give the visualization for that logs. So yeah, all right. So I will give some information about deployment tools. So how many of you know we realize orchestrator or automation? We realize automation.
Yeah, heard about it. This is
VRA,
the
it's called VRA,
VMware
VRO,
part.
right?
Yes, exactly. So we realize automation and we realize orchestrator. Here it's a complete VMware tool. Uh, okay. So this tool, what will happen? Let me put it under here. Okay. So this is one of the deployment tool. The vendor is VMware, so they are managing it. They are owning the product. So the purpose of this product is to use to deploy, especially VRLS automation is the front end tool. It's a web based tool. It will connect all your vCenters. So it will connect the vCenters based on the data center. So if you have 10 data centers or 20 data centers, you will integrate all vCenters. So whenever you are going to deploy a machine on any data center or vSphere client, so you can it's already integrated, right? So you can deploy that machine. You can maintain the images in the in your content library. So in the vSphere client, we have content library. So you can use that one. You can store the image as a template. So whenever there is a request, you can make use of that OS template and deploy those machines on the vCenter using this vRelease automation tool. So this is a server provisioning tool. It's a deployment tool. When it comes to deployment, so you can segregate into two things. One is OS deployment, and another one is application deployment. Am I right? So OS deployment is a infrastructure deployment. So you are just creating a, or you are just deploying a virtual machine, right? So you can deploy a virtual machine either in vCenter, or else you can deploy it in the cloud. So cloud, we have different providers: AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, and we have more providers as well. Oracle Cloud also there, and a few more cloud there. But the mostly used cloud providers are AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, right? So if you are going to deploy a OS, deploy a machine, virtual machine, then you can do it in your on premises, or else you can do it in a cloud. So you can use vRealize automation to deploy your machine into cloud and also your on premises vCenter. Previously, VRA is mainly used to deploy in on premises vCenter. So now VRA 8 is there, VRA version 8. It is integrated with cloud. So you can deploy a machine into cloud as well. So likewise, we have Terraform. This is more popular now. So this is HashiCorp tool. So HashiCorp is one of the one company like VMware, but not like a big company, but it is open source tool. Terraform is a open source. So it is managed by HashiCorp. Okay. So this tool doing the same thing for different cloud vendors, cloud providers. So Terraform, we can deploy a machine in vSphere client, vCenter as well. So both having capability of deploying a virtual machine. But if you go with application installation or application deployment, so you can use application on your image itself. So what I'm talking about, either you can use plain OS. I'm talking about OS images. It might be Windows 2022 or 2019, or else Red Hat 8, Ubuntu. Some we have a lot of OS images, right? So you can store all the images, OS images based on the version. So for example, if you are working for XYZ company, so your client supposed to maintain particular type of OS. So, for example, we have 2012, there is no more support, so it's the end of life, right? So, in this case, you will decommission, or you can remove that 2012 R2 OS, and then you will redeploy with the newer version of Windows servers, right? So in this case, so what you will do, you will create an image for the newer version. So whenever there's a new version available in the market, or Microsoft will release a new Windows OS, then you will prepare a template for your company for the project. So you will maintain those images in one of the repository. So especially if you are maintaining in the vCenter, you can maintain in the OS template. And if you are going to maintain in the there are some image repository also there in under the HashiCorp. So you can use that image repository to store your images as well. You can store as a plain OS, or else you can store as a application OS, or else database OS, middleware OS. So if you are maintaining a plain OS, you have to maintain different flavors of OS. Am I right? But again, if you are going to maintain application OS, the you have to do the multiple combination. For example, Windows 2012 with Apache, Windows 2022 with IIS, so Red Hat with Apache. So you have to do lot of flavors, combinations, right? So in the same case, if you are going to maintain a OS for database, you have to do Windows 2012 plus MS SQL plus MS SQL, and even MS SQL we have lot of versions, right? Enterprise is there, community is there, so we have lot of versions into the software as well, application as well, right? So if it is not possible to maintain, it is possible, but you have to do lot of combinations to maintain the image repository when it comes to applications deployment. So you got my point what I'm telling now. So for deploying a OS, it is easy to use either Terraform or vRealize automation as a plain OS, or any plain OS with any tools, application installed within that OS. But if you are managing the images like this, it is very difficult to manage. So that's why the plain OS, or the virtual machine deployment is considered as day zero automation. So day zero automation is the server provisioning, server or VM provisioning, and day one automation is post configuration. So once the server is provisioned, image is deployed, and network host name is updated, and it comes to the domain. So everything's settled down. After that, we have to do some post configuration job, like you have to install the antivirus, you have to install security tools like CrowdStrike, you have to install some monitoring tools, Splunk. You have to install some backup softwares like Commvault agent. So a lot of agent you have to install once the server is provisioned, right? Even you have to add some access to the users. So users groups, especially suppose it's a application server, then you have to give a application group who is going to access those servers. So you have to provide the access to them. Then only they can able to access the server, and they can able to configure the applications. Am I right? So there are a lot of things you have to do once server got provisioned. So the post configurations you can be able to do using configuration management. You can't do this one with Terraform or VRLS automation. So we can use those softwares only for day zero automation. It can be a on-premises, vCenter, telling about cloud provider, GCP, AWS, Azure, GCP. So the same thing, the post configurations you can make use of application deployment, and then configuration, and also day two automation is. So once our server is ready, and after that we will do the post configuration to install the necessary softwares, necessary agents, and user account, file system creation. So those parts is completed, and then based on the user request you will install the softwares, software like application software or database software. So and then you will deploy middleware components like lot of middleware softwares, right? So based on the request you will install those softwares, and then once you install those software you will do the configuration for that software. So for example, if you're installing MS SQL database, once installation you have to do some configuration on that database itself. So likewise, if you're installing Apache or some middleware component, you have to do some configuration for that software. So all those things is comes under day one automation, and day two automation is something, it's an ad hoc basis. So what is ad hoc basis? The server is already deployed long back. Recently, it's not. It might be recently, or it might be the old servers or existing servers. It was deployed long ago. Whenever you are getting some work related to the existing machine means it was deployed previously, not the new request. So on the existing infrastructure, you are getting some additional task. You can handle it as a day two automation. So for example, currently in your infrastructure, McAfee was installed, and it was it is the antivirus for your environment. But after some period of time, management or the client decided to use Microsoft product instead of McAfee. So different is there, right? So they asked to uninstall the old one and install the McAfee, install the different instead of that one. So it's a ad hoc request. You have to handle it for entire platform, entire for example, in your project you have 1,200 or 1,000 plus servers. you have to do it for the entire servers, right? So at the time, what you can do, you can handle those requests in day 2 automation. You can uninstall McAfee and then install with the Windows Defender. This is one use case. But likewise, you can create whenever someone asking to give the access for a particular server, so you can provide the access to the server instead of logging into the server. Instead of doing the RDP into the server, you can just use Ansible as a central automation tool, and then you can provide the access to that server. Okay, so there are a lot of use cases as there. So as day 2, I am just highlighting one or two here. So we will learn about other use cases during the classes. uh, User addition, and then file system creation, software installation. So some other request, you can handle it. All right. So day one automation, day zero automation, you can achieve using VRA or else Terraform as a deployment tool. But the days one and two, you can use configuration management tools. So using configuration management tools only, you can achieve day one and day two. Any questions? Are we clear with the Terraform and also the the difference between automation types? Any
Yep.
questions?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. In the DevOps, we have okay. The plan and the code is combined together. It's called the continuous deployment. Sorry, development, and continuous testing is combination of build and test. And deploy and operate is combined with continuous deployment, continuous monitoring, and integration tool. Jenkins is called continuous integration. Time. So Jenkins is the integration tool. So now GitLab also we can use for integration tool. Is anyone using GitLab for integration? So most of the companies still using Jenkins, but nowadays the GitHub, GitLab also having the facility to use integration. I'm just giving the information to you if you are not using before. So now GitLab, GitHub also having a facility to use as a integration tool. Okay, so why we are going with integration tool? You can integrate other tools like a build tool, version control tool, monitoring tool, container tool, configuration management tool, testing tool. So all phases of tools will be integrated with the integration tool Jenkins. So which mean you can create a pipeline in order to perform a seamless end-to-end automation. So, for example, you can plan for the entire tools execution one by one in Jenkins using pipeline. All right.